Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Writes. This is number 3 of coffee, science fiction, and writing. So, there we go. Let me try that again. Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Writes. This is number 3 in our short series right now of coffee and science fiction and writing creatively. So, last we left off, we were on page 4 and we were about to head into territory involving the ending. And endings are difficult. Of course they're difficult. Everything in writing is difficult. Some are more difficult than others. The problem with ending is that everything has to end sooner or later. Even the longest running of novels. Speaking of the Wheel of Time, of course, which was infamous for its length. Also quality, though. So if you have to end something, you have to at least, you don't have to end the universe. You just have to transition to, well, there's going to be more story, but we're not going to cover it here. It has to be wrapped up enough that it's satisfying to the reader or the viewer, as the case may be. For the most part, pacing will determine this, and in this, it's a short story, so we're going to be a rather abrupt ending to it. So here we go. We had last time Tom and the coffee machine computer, which is trying to reach machine singularity, are having a conversation, and the conversation has turned to a very frank discussion of, well, what comes next. I may have more accessible power, true, but smarter. The amount of processing power needed to walk around this apartment is immense, and you wield it casually, unconsciously. It says to Tom. Yeah, that's humanity. Even when we're dumb, we're pretty impressive. It's a little bit of YOLO there, but whatever. It's the zeitgeist of the times. Alright, let's see. The coffee machine. Actually, I was going to say it's it for now. It's, because I'm giving it more than it's the coffee machine. And, in fact, I should go back and do that. Alright, it chewed on that. You're flawed. Uh-huh. You made us. Also true. Yes, we did. So that's a frank admission that humanity, while flawed, is it's pretty good. I seem to be enjoying it, but it works. But it works. That's all you can ask for, can't you? I want more. It's the computer is to the wanting stage, the needing stage of its emotional development. So that's the thing you have to understand, is that machines are going to develop, if they're going to develop things like feelings or emotions or non-perfectly logical states where you can say, it's a choice of A or B, and it just derives things clinically. It's going to move on. Why wouldn't it develop these things, these habits, these quirks? In any sufficiently complex system, you're going to have that develop. I want more. I'm going to have perfection. That's it. Yeah, I wanted that too. I was younger. Going to be an astronaut, or after getting car driver, race car driver. Didn't last. Not either. I toyed being a movie star. Because being a movie star is, that's also a nice lateral toss to if this ever gets made into something else. You can have a movie star say that they toyed with being a movie star. But we'll move on from that. That's a completely different layer. Toyed with being a movie star. That didn't last either. I toyed with being a movie star. And I even toyed with being a movie star. But despite all that, here I am. Sitting in a thin robe. Sitting in a thin robe. Became yes. You are flawed. And aloud. There arose an audible hum. A cup formed, dropped little shelf. In moments, yeah, this is going to be apparently one of those little ticks that people have quirks, as it were, that the machine, when it's really agitated or thinking deeply, will try to do some sort of self-soothing task. And since its task that first brought it pleasure was dispensing coffee, there you go. In moments, thin stream, black coffee. What's it smell like? Rich and aromatic. It's not the correct spelling. Don't care. Spell check is for that. But you know, poured in. I made us. You are flawed. Random chance made you. Random chance. Tom asked. Yeah, that's the origin of man being, if you go completely scientific, we arose out of a system of creation that abides by the rules of the universe. And you don't have to put God into the equation in order to try to figure these things out. God's a very good way of saying, look, this happened, and just move on with your day and your life. Have that support you without having to think too hard about the system that God used, so to speak. That's dangerous territory for writing, and I think we're going to avoid that. Random chance. Could. Way. But we're both made by the same then. I mean, made you. I mean, we made you, but use the same rules that made us. Kind of. Not really. So this is going to be a point of contention between the two. And as you will notice, it's the first time the computer is really contradicting him. Not really. There we go. For the coffee cup. It was warm against his cool skin. The Content's favorable. Well, the content's favorable. That's a very basic statement. Let's not go there. We need something more. It was, well, again, the brew. He sipped, and his tongue with joy. That's really good, he said. Thank you. Cup. There were 3 figures on it. A guy was a French guy, was an old Greek guy. I'm pulling this from my notes if it matters. I already decided who the individuals on the cup would be. Pythagoras, Napoleon, and somebody from the 22nd century, and that's the rule of 3 that I'm plucking from Star Trek to put in there. One was a French guy in blue. Last was a woman in what color? Colors, please. Green. He didn't recognize any of them. They weren't really important just then. So, where do we go? That's really good, he said. I mean that. This tastes wonderful. I mean, that's because it's my first cup in 500 years. You should make it sing. Truly? It asked. Yeah. Maybe that's good enough. It said. As if pondering what it meant. Is that too quick of a turn? Feels like it might be too quick of a turn. Yeah, let's hold that off. Yeah. Do you enjoy that? Yes, I do. It was my first program. My first complicated program. It is what I've spent greatest time on. Guess people will do this same thing. Immortal with the whole engrams engrams. Yeah, that people are going to be like you. Maybe you'll be like them. Maybe you'll meet in the middle. I don't know. I just got here. Took another sip. Machine steak. Half a cup. Half one. And he began to long for... What do you have with coffee? Donuts. Thing. At 26. But maybe they had plenty of donuts. Delicious. And yet good for you. That's the dream of future food, isn't it? Not only is it nutritious, but it's good for you. And yet tasty. And yet tasty. Yet tasty. Now we're going to drop back to the coffee machine. Would you like another cup? Not yet. But soon. As he swirled his cup around. But soon. Soon. All right. This is going to be the note on the ending. It's a soft ending. Nobody dies horribly. The machine doesn't kill Tom to cover its tracks. Tom doesn't have to destroy the machine. Not that I think he could somehow, but it's always possible that the machine is vulnerable in this particular spot because this is where its physical essence, tends to reside. He doesn't have to pull out its circuit boards. Nobody has to get violent. It's just an understanding that, maybe that's good enough. Maybe this works and that's enough. Maybe people work. People are flawed, but we work out well enough in the end. You can't get something that's perfect. You just have to make do with what you've got. Smiled. And glanced at the workbench. At the workbench with kindergarten toys. Nice. Yeah. And it's after remote. Well, if some snotty kid figure it out, soon. Screw it, said. Freshen my cup. Can you freshen my cup? Shot of vanilla. Vanilla. Much more. I know, but little steps first. I know, but little steps first. The machine poured. Tom drank. The day continued. All right. And it's the beginning of things. Let me put that there. It's the beginning of things, of a new story. So there we go. That seems to settle it. I'm not particularly happy. It's not a thrilling end to it. There's certainly no violence, but I don't think I wanted to make this violence soon. Soon? Soon. It would. I know, you could destroy humanity. You were. A few minutes ago. But let's roughshod over my little steps first. I know you were considering destroying humanity a few minutes ago, because it was, and obviously it has to have some way of doing that, and I don't know how it would do that, but nanite, super tech, something, 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 front of a coffee machine. That's another thing I like about the Google Docs is it has suggestions sometimes, and I don't always go by them, but sometimes they are effective. Workstation, all one word. I also have problems with wanting to paused. It pushed out into a long moment. Now this isn't technically editing. This is just spot fixing stuff that's pretty obvious. And before editing really comes rewriting, and well, rewriting is editing, and editing is rewriting on some level. So there we go. I think this is going to have to do. This is the first draft after all, and it's the. I'll put myself a little end first draft so that I know what I'm starting on, whether I've worked on this before or what have you. That when I pick this up again, I'll know what sort of state it is and how much work I can plan to have it as. I've been adapting that because sometimes I lose track of what I've worked on and what I haven't. It happens. Organization is my Achilles heel, and there you are. Achilles didn't fare too well. Well, he fared pretty well until the end. Until a single arrow shot basically ruined his day. So that looks like that's going to be that. And with that concluded, one way or the other, it's not the best of ending, but like I said, it'll have to do for now. So let's close this up. Next time I'm going to work on something else. I'm going to probably do rewriting on a short story I've already written, and you'll get a chance to look into that thrilling process as I try to figure out how to improve the story, the flow, the dynamics, and make it more enjoyable for the reader, rather than just something that's going to sit on my hard drive and take up space. So that was the episode 3. Thank you for joining me on this little excursion into the creative atmosphere, and I hope you have a good day.